Thanks for having me on, guys. This is awesome. I love gear, love talking all about it. So yeah, it's just going to be really fun.
A lot of this equipment we're talking about it can be used for musicians and content creators in general. If you're a YouTuber or
Amazon Live. When you're watching somewhere else, you need to come to Amazon Live because that's the focus of this.
Right. And right now we need that.
And I've shot probably 90% of my show on this little camera.
Like, I know Mitch just joined. Hey, Mitch, good to see you. And Mitch was on one of my podcasts, and I used his stuff in other articles. How did you just tweet this out?
I feel a little preachy here, but I just feel like,
you want to preach.
Guys, Chris, you're just amazing. Jim, so are you. You guys are the best host ever, I think.
Just stop, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to a very, very, very special episode of Dealcasters live on Amazon. My name is Chris Stone, and I'm a cast ahead at castahead.net. And the better-looking gentleman on the left side of the screen, doing marketing the Marine Corps way, Jim Fuse. Happy anniversary! Happy birthday! Is it a birthday or anniversary?
I think
today?
it's our anniversary, right? And our anniversary would not have occurred if it was not for the gentleman who will be joining us here shortly. So it's like a big celebration because, hey, we started this little show on Amazon, but more importantly, Ross Brand, #1 best-selling author already with his great new book. Honored and privileged to be a part of it, and we got a lot of special guests, people that have been a part of the book that know Ross. We all are here to celebrate Ross. And if it had not been for Ross doing a YouTube video showing people how to get started with Amazon Live, the show would not be happening today. So Ross, we will never forget you for that as well. And I can see that my video minion has been hard at work. That was a really nice video.
You know how it is, Jim. You know how it is. Like when it comes to anniversaries, when it comes time for special shows, you gotta change the drapes. You gotta paint the walls. You gotta do all that kind of stuff. So we're not gonna talk too much because there is a stacked green room right now of people that are lined up. And Jim, you mentioned this, and I just want to pull this up right now because anybody that's watching right now, and they're on Amazon or they're not, because we're on all the tubes. And so, but we want you over here on Amazon. Why do we want you over here on Amazon? Because there is a #1 best-selling author that is in the green room that we are celebrating tonight, and his name is Ross Brand. And this book is already a #1 bestseller in the following categories. And I know, Jim, you and I both downloaded it today. Can't wait to get that physical copy in our hands, and maybe when we see Ross, we'll get his John Hancock on the inside of it as well. But it's exciting to have that. So if you're on these other places, you're on Twitch, you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, you're on Twitter, you're on all of the tubes, come on over to Amazon where you can pick up this book today, right now. Why on earth would you be anywhere else than on Amazon? And we made it easy for you. And all you got to do is open up a browser and type in dealcasters.live. So if you do that and you type in dealcasters.live, that's going to send you right here to Amazon, where the party's at, where Ross Brand is at, and where the #1 best-selling book in 4 categories already released today, 100 live streaming and digital media predictions is available right here in our carousel. And so if you want your own .live, all you got to do is go to name.com/live. The promo code is GetLive. Should auto-populate for you, but just so you remember, GetLive. And you can get your own .live for less than a cup of coffee. It's $1.99. So, just that's for you. Jim, I know you grabbed a bunch of domains. It's good to be able to take a URL that's basically looks like hieroglyphics, and you lost them at the slash. And then be able to turn it into something .live, and we're big proponents of that. So definitely take advantage of that if you're a content creator, live streamer, or just anyone. Why not? So,
Absolutely.
Jim, I think like we like I said, stacked green room.
Yes.
We've got the housekeeping out of the way. So I'm gonna let you introduce our featured guest, superstar, and #1 best-selling author.
Yeah. So, Chris, I mean, it is an honor and a privilege for us to bring on truly, at least in your opinion, in my opinion, one of the legends of live streaming. Ross Brand has been in the business for several years. He took what he was doing as a radio personality, brought it over to live streaming, started out with Blab. I mean, just when you see the people that he has brought into this book, I mean, they are some of the tops in the business. And so it's an honor and a privilege to bring on the man, the myth, the legend, Ross Brand.
Yes.
Wow. How do I follow that up?
Soak it in, man.
Thanks,
Soak it
guys. It's great to be back on Dealcasters, and it's so weird to see your show on my product page. Before today, I never really had a product on Amazon, and now I'm watching you guys right on the product
Inception,
page.
Right? It's Inception.
So thanks for having me on. Thanks for putting this together. I had no idea you were gathering all these people. You kept it a surprise.
We didn't either.
I
I'll
know,
be honest with you, and Ross, you should know this. Like, we just were like, okay, we have this huge list of everybody who was in the book, and we're just gonna like send out a couple of emails, and you know, in Dealcasters fashion, Jim and I divided and conquered, and just said, hey, if you want to come on, and it's been overwhelming, and you should know that there's just a ton of people here that want to join and be a part of this launch. So it was kind of like the easiest thing ever. All we had to say is it's Ross Brand, and it was like boom, 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 boom. I mean, Dave Jackson was here in like 2 minutes. I mean, it was like incredible.
Well, no, I'm honored. I mean, these people have made this a bestseller through their contributions, through being at the live show that much of the content came from contributing great predictions, and then, of course, for promoting this and getting a copy today, leaving reviews, telling other people about it. It's really, the sport's been amazing, and I'm a little overwhelmed at the moment, but I'm really happy that this has gone well and that people are really enjoying the book so far. So thank you guys for having me.
I can't wait to dig in full force. Of course, I was a part. You know, I watched Jim as he was a part of that 184-hour live stream that you had with the predict. No, it was more like 5 hours or something.
It was about 5. Get ready, Chris, because you're going to be on it this year.
All right, good. I got my coffee and my popcorn ready. Awesome.
You've done an awesome job with the show, and there's no escaping. You and Jim are going to be on that for sure. So get ready for a long ride.
I'll have to come up with some better predictions, though. I think at least I think mine still has a chance. It's just it'll take a little bit of time. So Ross, what made you decide? Because you've been doing this predictions. This is the 7th year, I believe. You said, you know what, I'm going to turn this into a book.
Well, I really hadn't thought about turning it into a book. It was a blog post in which I would write to people and say, can I get your thoughts on live streaming or digital media? 2 to 3 sentences. And I was putting together the 5th anniversary party for Live Stream Universe. And I thought, doing some predictions might, be a cool way to have the event. But I was also thinking, it's a lot of work to chase all these people down every year and follow up and edit. And what if I just ask people while I've got them there? I'll have like 60 predictions done. And of course, when people are talking, they're not just, writing a paragraph. We talk. We have a conversation before the prediction. We have a conversation after the prediction. and the prediction's probably going to be longer because we're all live streamers and we talk and we're podcasters and we talk and we talk and we talk like I am right now. And so the amount of content that was there was book length. And I thought, the conversations before and after were interesting. It sort of showed some of the things that we've all been through in common, different platforms we use, different technology, different events we've been to, how we've connected around certain developments in the industry and the relationships that we have. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to leave that stuff in. I'll take out what, doesn't fit so that it's not excessive. But I really enjoyed that part of it, as well as the predictions, going back over those conversations, taking the transcripts, editing it so that it would be, not an 800-page book and whatever. But yeah, I really enjoy that. So because that was book length, I said, why not? Why not? And I think it's going to be helpful to people who are new to the industry or aren't part of our digital community, who want to use digital media for promoting their business, their brand. I think it's going to be useful for them. And it's also a chance to just showcase all these people who've been part of our live stream universe, who've contributed, who've come on shows, who create great content, who help other people, and who are doing interesting things in this realm. And people can learn from them. And they deserve a spotlight. They deserve a place to really be celebrated. And so, yeah, my name's on the book, but all these people are stars, and I'm super appreciative for every one of them for contributing.
And I know that probably wasn't an intentional segue, but it feels like a great time to bring on maybe some of these folks who did contribute. And I'd like to bring on I believe Jim. He was our third guest maybe at this point, and
it was also a book launch. We were lucky it was the day of his book launch, and so we're going to bring on Hall of Fame podcaster Dave Jackson. Welcome.
Hey guys.
Hey Dave.
Welcome back to Dealcasters, Dave.
It's
been a minute.
Nice to be back. It's like you said, you dropped the name Ross Brand, and I'm like, where and when?
It's like the best booking agent ever. Just say his name.
He said, Jim wrote me a message like, well, Dave said he's going to be on your show tomorrow, so I'm wondering if that would be okay with... I said, Dave is welcome on my show 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. There's no need to ask me that.
I was just like, it's that Dave Jackson guy again.
Oh, too funny.
So, Dave, you know a little bit about launching a book and a few books. And so if you were going to give maybe Ross some first week tips, because I know you're a coach. I know you're a great coach. Maybe not, you're a podcasting coach, and maybe not like an author coach. But I mean, what's it like first week when you launch a book?
It kind of depends. I think in this case, Ross, are you self-published?
I am.
Good for you. I have been battling with my publisher all week. That's the nice thing about it. You can log in to Amazon and see how many books you've sold. That's the beautiful thing. And it's what I've heard, at least, is it's one of those things. It's almost like podcasting, where like I think the median number for podcasts is like 125 to 150 downloads per episode. Books, I hear people like, I sold 25 books in a year. And I'm like, in a year? And it's like, it's much lower than you think it is. So, but the good news is that's because a lot of authors don't have a platform. They don't. They're in their room and they write and they hand it to somebody and it goes on the web, but they don't have a podcast. They don't have a newsletter. It's somebody that just said, hey, I had something to say. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have a platform, so that's the cool thing is you should be able, and you've been doing it. I just shared it again, and
Thank you.
So you should be in good shape. And it's there's nothing better than seeing your product on Amazon for the first time. It's got to be a little bit like hearing your song on the radio, because I remember the first time I did it, I was like, hey, that's me. kind of thing. So you kind of freak out. But the other thing is, and this is now that I've said, hey, you're going to do great. The other thing is, so many people think starting a podcast, writing a book, that the hard part is the actual recording and publishing. No, not at all. That's actually the easy part. The hard part is getting people to read and listen. So at this point, I hope you've paced yourself, because this is where the work now really starts to begin.
Well, the publishing part isn't that easy when it's your first time navigating Amazon. It's like learning a foreign language.
Yeah.
But I'm fortunate that, I have a friend, Dale L. Roberts, who's written books on self-publishing, and he was able to help me navigate a little bit. But there is, or a lot really, but there is a lot to learn if you've never done this before.
Well, and that's a great thing with, like I said, you have this platform, you have this network. And I know the last book I did, I decided, hey, I've never worked with a publisher. Let's try that and see what it's like. And I reached out to my audience and like, hey, has anybody worked with a publisher before? And they're like, be sure to do this and don't do that and ask them for this. So that's really where your platform really comes in handy.
Yeah.
And I think, not that it was, I'll just say I like self-publishing better. I'll keep it nice that way.
So that'll be the way to go next time.
Yeah.
Well, I remember, Dave, when you were on our episode and you were talking about the launch of your book, you said that it was taking longer than 9 months, and it was like, how does it take longer for a book than to actually have a baby?
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember I finished it in September, and I went to them and I said, hey, like, any chance this is going to be out for Christmas? Because if I was self-publishing, it would have been. And they're like, oh, no, we're thinking June, July. So, and I was like, wait a minute, I'm doing the math. And I'm like, that's 10 months from now. And they're like, uh-huh. I'm like, how does it, like, 9 months for a human, 10 months for a book? I was like, that's crazy. So it's a different world, and it is what it is. So I've published now, self-published and through a publisher, and I will be doing self-publishing in the future. So.
Awesome. So, Jim, I think we got to start clearing this green room. Let's get some more people up here. This was our second guest on Dealcasters. This is a gentleman who has influenced everyone on the screen, and many of you who are watching and listened and been a part of Podfest Multimedia Expo. So please welcome Mr. Chris Kermitsos.
Nice.
What's up, Chris?
How's it going, guys? I couldn't miss up an opportunity to. Kevin Colby said this is like an episode of This Is Your Life, Russ. Kevin, I couldn't agree with you more. This is awesome.
Hey, great to see you, Chris.
Congrats on the launch of the book. I believe I bought it, but I'm not sure yet. I'll have to. I did it with my phone, so I don't know which Amazon account it logged me into. But I'm excited to support your book and everything that you put out there. You've helped a lot of us, like Jim and Chris said, you produce all these videos, you help everybody through the scene. So we're just excited to support you in the launch of your book.
Well, thanks so much. And it was great to get your thoughts back in, well, recently. Let's just, it took a little while to get the book done. But it's great having you on the 5th anniversary, and also just like all you've done to build community and put on awesome events that I think we've all learned from a lot of what you did, and love Start Ugly. Great book. And did you self-publish that, or did you use a publisher for that?
No, I self-published, and very much like you said, writing the book was the easiest part. Publishing was a process. And the cool part though is I'll have a friend, like the other day I had a friend in Orlando say, did you write a book? I'm like, yeah. He goes like, I'm at a coffee shop. Someone's reading it. It has your name on it. I was like, that's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So books do get around. It's just, you never know how and where, but it's fun to do them every so often, I guess.
Yeah.
So what was the first? Do you remember, Chris, your first week of Stay Ugly, and what was that like? I know when you were on the show, you were talking about how you shared an early version of the book with a friend who was brutally honest with the direction of the book, and and it kind of shook you, and you moved the book into a different direction. But after the book launched, and it was first week, what was that like for you?
Well, yeah, I got brutal feedback. I implemented the feedback. First week was awesome. We had so many people buy the book, and they actually were like, "Wow, this is really good. Did you write it?" So that was cool. My brother's feedback was, "Listen, dude, you can't rip stuff off the internet and throw it in a book." He's like, he goes, "Where'd you get this story? Because I know you didn't write this." It's like you can't be taking biographical information pretending it's fiction. But anyways, it was fun to see the reactions. I had a blast. I didn't realize, and Ross, you'll see this. Dave, you already know this, but a book actually does legitimize you in the eyes of certain people. I don't know why. I would think like many of us have shows or podcasts that would be legitimate in that you have something, but something about a book makes you more official. They want you to speak more. I literally got a speaking gig off a guy that read my book on his flight, and I didn't have to negotiate. The money was really good. It was an hour from my house, but books really open up a lot of doors. Even if the person doesn't read the book, that's the interesting part. Just like I think Dave said this, when you're up in the Amazon store, it does something to your credibility. As long as it's not like a half a star, you want to get a couple of stars on there, so you want to do well.
It's so true. There's something permanent about it too, which is nice. It's like, yes, we record all our stuff, we keep track of our episodes and all that, but there's something nice about having a physical book that you can hand to people that they can keep on their shelf. I still have books from people who've been on my show or who are in the industry, and it's just really nice to have them be able to hold them up when they come on show and talk about their book. And there's just something about it. It's almost like it's tangible and it's intangible.
Amazing. And so we are on Amazon Live, and so if you're on these other tubes, and we see the commentaries from a lot of people and some views from other spots, come on over to Amazon. We're at Dealcasters.live, and we're celebrating today the launch of the #1 best-selling book in the following 4 categories. Ross, this is just awesome that on the day of release that it's already a #1 bestseller in those categories. And the fact of the matter is, do you see how many people contributed to this book? We have all those guests right now backstage, Ross. Every single one of them.
That's awesome.
Did you know that StreamYard now allows us to have 65 people backstage? It's incredible.
Hey, Chris and Jim, I just want to thank you guys for putting this on and let you know I actually was trying to find Ross's book on Amazon, and then you guys, while I was in the green room, you were saying, just go to Dealcasters. It was just easier to buy it off of Dealcasters. So Thank you for, I'm being dead serious. Thank you for setting up the direct link, and it was right there. But Ross, congratulations, brother. Wish you much success. Great to see Dave. Hopefully I'll see many of you sooner than later in person. Yeah. But I got another thing going on, but I appreciate you guys, and just nice to see everybody in the green room. And thank you for creating this reunion of sorts. So really appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris, for joining.
Thanks for being here, Chris, and for supporting it.
Chris.
Ross, hope you sell millions of copies. You deserve it. You've helped many of us, so we love you. So keep up the great work.
Thanks. Back at you.
Bye, guys.
See you later. So, believe it or not, Ross, we do have one guest backstage that actually didn't contribute to the book, but he is, he's just such a fan. He's, I know, Dave, you said you're a musician. This is also a musician, a guitar player like you are, Dave, also a singer. Would you please welcome to Dealcasters Live, Willie Nelson, ladies and gentlemen, has joined.
All the books I've bought before, even when they were only 99 cents. Nice. Well, Ross, let me just say, because I know we haven't talked in 2 hours.
It's been ages.
I echo what Chris said. I hope you sell 1 million copies, because I am using my affiliate link to promote it.
All right.
No, seriously.
I'll steer everybody to your affiliate.
Yeah. And we're having we're having a heck of a great time in the back room too, in the green room.
I can see the chats. The chat's more live in the green room than it is on Amazon. It's crazy.
I shared this with you. I mean, outside of just being like, really, I can have a part in the book. I was telling my wife, I'm like, I made a book. This is so cool. I mean, not like I didn't make it, but I was in it. That was really cool. But dude, I mean, I shared this on the live stream earlier when you were on, and I said this in my review. If you buy this book, first of all, you should, and if you buy the book and you don't get anything out of it, then I don't think I said you're a doofus, but you need to read it again because you missed something. I mean, out of 100 all-stars going, hey, here's things you need to know. So this is cool. This is cool being part of this. I appreciate it.
Oh, thanks so much for all you've done as well. I mean, everybody in this book has had a role in Livestream Universe, and that was a blast talking with you earlier. And in all seriousness, we both have a radio background, and we were able to share some stories with that. But it's funny about a book, man. I know that, like, you know from having guests on your show, same thing with me. Whenever somebody has a book, it's always one of the top 3 things in their bio. I don't care what else they've done. You know, they've climbed mountains, they've run countries. It's like
cured diseases.
Joining us next is the author of. Well, you know, it's kind of exciting to have that.
And that's cool, and that, like, the bestseller, you're already hitting it. It's just hasn't even been out 24 hours, right? I mean,
no, it's the paperback actually got approved like really quickly, and I just didn't tell anybody about it, but it was already up yesterday.
Oh wow!
The the ebook came down to the wire. But when I woke up, it was there, and people had bought copies and left reviews. So we got it. We got it on time.
It's very cool.
Well, and it was hard. It was hard to find it first too, because I'd type in Ross Brand, and because I was hoping I could pre-order the paperback. But then today it was there, so it's all is right in the world of Amazon.
If you just put in live streaming as one word and then one of my names or like books, then you'll get it.
One of your names. How many names do you go by, Ross?
Yeah,
well, the problem
we
is,
didn't cover this earlier.
The problem is that there's a lot of brands on Amazon, right?
That's good.
I'm not the only brand on Amazon. You also may get my flash briefings that I don't think I put anything in that RSS feed for 3 years.
Right, but we talked about it at Social Media Week Lima in 2019, Ross.
We did, and I was really gung ho on it, but it definitely is another thing.
All right, as if the party couldn't get any more live, I think we got a guest, and this would be his first time on Dealcasters Live, but I know a good friend of many of the folks here that are already on the stream. Please welcome Eddie Garrison to the show.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me. Ross, what's up, brother?
Hey, liking that studio.
Cheers, man.
Man, that's come a long way.
I know.
Oh, he matches us.
It's,
Was that
it's
intentional
amazing
there,
what some
Eddie?
flashlights, duct tape, and saran wrap will do.
Eddie actually got out of line at Epcot on a ride he was going to just to be on this. He told me this before.
I did, yeah.
So,
I had to really get home quickly.
Yeah.
When you said got out of line, I was thinking like Eddie went off and just started fighting somebody.
Well, David,
You don't want a piece of me.
It's never out of the realm of possibility. But no, as everyone else is echoing, Ross, you know that I love Stream Boss Ross, and anything that you're going to be a part of, I want to be a part of, because you owe me so much money at this point. So I need that commission coming in from my affiliate links. So
there you go. Thanks, Eddie. Thanks for being a part of it, too.
Yeah, man, you know it.
What did you call him? The live stream boss? Was
Stream Boss Ross.
Stream Boss Ross.
Yeah,
I like that.
God, I think Stream Boss Ross.live sounds good. What do you
Let's get that trending.
we can do that.
New
hashtag
hashtag.
Stream Boss. Yeah. Okay. I'll
I've
do my
done
part
it.
here.
We got you trending for something that probably wasn't good, but at least you were trending at one point. So.
There you go. It's funny. I saw somebody mention in the chat about affiliate, and I felt so weird. Like, okay, it's 99 cents. Putting in the email to everybody in the book, like, hey, you can use your affiliate on this, and I was like, well, okay, so it's only 99 cents, but maybe after they buy my book, they'll buy a refrigerator or something. And,
That's right.
it'll end up being a really good day. So, use that affiliate link as you share it.
What is 4%? That's like 4 cents.
I don't know.
Nobody
It's
said
like-
math
it's
would
like
be
that
involved.
scene
Buy the paperback. Buy the paperback, right?
The scene from Office Space. We're talking fractions of a fraction of a fraction of a penny.
fraction of a fraction. We can get Kevin. He can do long division in his head. He loves it.
It's less than 10. I'm out. So
Just wear flip flops, man. Then you can go to 20.
So Eddie, I guess at this point this is the first time on Dealcasters, and
It is.
welcome, man. And the first time I've ever been on a stream with you. Even though we've met at Podfest before, and certainly know each other from from social media and whatnot. And so, how has Ross maybe influenced you? I know he's been an influence on everyone here on the screen. Jim and I talked about how he was influential for us for Amazon Live. But if you were to think about how Stream Boss Ross was influential on your career, what would you say?
Well, first of all, I'd like to go ahead and say I'll take royalties on that name if you don't mind, Ross. Just
Not a problem.
I'm good with that. You know what it was? Is Ross and I met in real life, I want to say like 4 or 5 years ago at Podcast Movement in Orlando, I think. Yeah. I think it was the first time, Ross, that we met in real life. And we actually were just sitting in the lobby, literally just, chewing the fat. And all of a sudden, both of us just started telling stories. And he had not known that, and maybe a lot of people didn't know that I come from a professional sporting. I was a professional athlete before I owned, a digital media agency. And so I started telling him all these stories, and he goes, "Dude, just do that on live stream, and you'll be golden. Quit trying to be so not like everybody else." He's like, "Don't be this guy. Don't be this guy. Don't be all this technical jargon. Just get on there and do exactly what you're doing right now, and you'll be gold." And I may be aluminum at this point, not gold, but it's actually helped me in live streaming. So
that was it was such a fun time that we had. Yeah. And we're like, we really should go live, but the conversation wasn't one that you would necessarily have on a live stream.
Yeah.
And so finally we're like, okay, let's go live. Let's do this. And neither one of us could set up the camera.
Oh, it was terrible.
So that it wouldn't fall. Like, we were in a situation where, like, a tripod, they're supposed to wrap around the tree and what. No, it didn't work that way. So we're going, and in the middle of the camera just falls over.
Just falls on the floor.
And Eddie goes, "I'll dance while you fix it."
Nice. So I was your court jester.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, you
Thanks
were.
for having me. Yeah.
But I remember that was really also great content, because I remember using some of those clips. You had talked about StreamYard, not the clips where the thing fall over. No, I did use that. I think Christine Gritman, who's here, didn't she have something about like your most fun piece of content?
And that, it was like
that may have made it into the most fun piece of content.
Yeah.
So wherever the story was going, now that I thought of that, I don't remember what I was going to say, but I think it had something to do with, you had these great quotes about StreamYard. Yeah. And when I started StreamYard Connect, I used some of those in the first promo that I put together about, you were talking about why you like using StreamYard and what makes it different and all that. So it was a lot of fun, but some good work came out of that too.
Yeah. That was interesting. It was the best thing, because it fell, but it fell kind of like it was. We were so serious talking about StreamYard. All of a sudden, the camera just went. But then we just kept going, and you hear you going, "What the?" Like, you're just giggling in the background trying to set it back up, and I'm doing whatever kind of crude white boy dance that I could do, and that was about it.
And really, like, we were back on in like 2 seconds. Yeah. So I mean, it seemed like forever when it's happening.
Yeah. If they really wanted the whole story, they should have watched the behind the scenes of trying to get the wireless microphone to work, because that in itself was a thing of beauty.
Oh my gosh, that is too funny.
Well, Christine, you're
Hi.
on, and like an unintended segue from Ross to bring you on. This is very exciting to
smooth.
finally, to finally have you on Dealcasters, and appreciated all your work as a social media strategist and coach and everything that you're doing from afar. So, welcome to Dealcasters, and we're honored to have finally a female on the screen here.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
What's up
Thank
with
you
that?
for yes. Thank you for
There's just
for
no
joining
females
us.
in social media marketing. That's just
Right.
Not true.
so few.
So it's like you're breaking down barriers here right
Yeah,
now.
there you go.
I'm just surprised it's really you live and not a GIF because my Twitter feed is
Yeah.
just full of your GIFs.
It looks
and it's
just
always
like
got
it, though,
that red
right? It's all
background,
right
right?
here.
I'm just waiting for like a number to come up and you go.
Just be glad I'm not having her take my place. I did that on a live stream once.
So every time somebody does that, I have to look at where are my bobbleheads from Social Media Week Live.
Well, and you know, Ross, something too that you started we'll call it an Amazon tree because Kevin came on our show. He's now an Amazon influencer, and Christine is now maybe the newest one.
Yeah.
Is, out there at Amazon.com/shop/C Gritmon if you want to follow her.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of fruit from that tree. I might have to
Yeah,
climb
you
back
guys are
on
Look
it.
what you did.
Well, everybody will just make sure they put
Hashtag
your
influencers.
book every show, so that'll
Yeah.
get you to that million faster.
Yeah, you go.
Amazon is great, isn't it? I mean, it's like I have like not a lot of videos on YouTube, but like 100 and something videos, and I've got like 10 on Amazon, and I've already got 2 brand deals in the past 2 weeks from Amazon.
Very nice. Good for you.
You're going to have to give us all your tips, all your secrets. Because, I mean, as everyone who's going to go over and follow me now on Amazon will find, I don't have anything up there now.
Dude,
So.
the biggest thing, honestly, Kevin and I were talking about this the other day in some chat or live stream or somewhere in this digital realm that we call home. And it was more along the lines of we were pointing out somebody's content. I think it was Dan Courier's content to where it's like, it's not polished. It's not YouTube. It's literally just focusing on the product and doing these quick, like 30 to 45 second videos of the product, only the product.
Yeah.
And it's just been killing it for everybody that's been doing it that way.
Plus, Eddie's dancing in his too, so that, that brings a lot to it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and Eddie,
that's onlyfans.com/Eddie.
All right, I'm buying that URL right now.
Oh,
Yeah.
goodness.
Eddie, you can't give away all the secrets. You got to save it for the book launch.
That's right.
Another book. Yeah.
Well, that reminds me, Eddie has a book.
Yeah, I've got
Eddie's got 2 books, right?
Ooh.
Oh, see, Jim, he's putting it in the carousel. You're welcome, Eddie. Wait,
Thank you so
you
much.
thought those 10 videos got you something. Wait,
I'm looking
wait
at
till
my
you see now.
bookshelf now because I have Eddie's book, but it's not open.
Yeah. She was the
Across
first
the
one to send
room.
me a picture with it. I was very, very humbled by that.
That's how I
So
do.
you guys thought that Ross Brand has a great sounding setup and that he has a career in broadcasting. He's got a Shure SM7B microphone in front of his mug and he sounds fantastic. But there is one person on the earth that sounds better than Ross Brand on a live stream. I'm sorry, Ross. I know this is your day. I don't want this to be ruined.
Ooh, I
But
think I
ladies and
might know who it
gentlemen,
is.
please welcome to Dealcasters Live for the second time, Miss Jody Kringle.
Hello.
Hey, Jody.
That's a nice intro. Wow. Okay.
Another lady. Woo, woo.
There we go.
Woohoo. Yeah. Represent. Congratulations, Ross. This is really exciting and I'm super happy for you. It's fantastic that it's premiering so high in the ratings there. That's fantastic.
Thanks
Oh,
so
and
much.
I have my
Thanks for
copy.
being here.
I have my copy and I have sent you a review. So, yeah.
Awesome. Maybe we'll be on our way to a Canadian bestseller.
You never know.
Oh.
You never know.
Oh, nice.
They're doing well in the Olympics.
Oh, well, I'm not even watching.
And
Is
the-
that,
well, you know,
is that
but-
awful?
I mean, traditionally,
I'm not either.
Canadians are winter Olympians. So
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of how it's being done at the moment, but
Possible.
you know,
Right now, they're more focused on the Amazon charts, I believe, with the book coming out today. That must be it.
Yeah. Yes, that's it.
knowing that there's several great Canadians like Jody who are in it. Gord is in it. Who else from Canada is in it? I got to look back. I thought we have.
Jerul's not Canadian, is he?
No, he's from my neck of the woods.
Okay.
Hey, I've got a bolt, guys. This has been fun, but I was just going to say, Ross, I've been to Canada, so I don't know if that counts.
Honorary.
Yeah.
You're an honorary
almost
Canadian.
counts. It almost
My lawyer
counts.
says I can't talk about it.
What
but I'll
happened
be
to
sure that-
Montreal stays in Montreal, man.
Thanks. Hey, congrats, dude.
Hey,
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Great to see you,
Thanks,
Kevin.
Kevin.
Bye, Willie Nelson.
To all the streams I've loved
That's it.
before.
He's on the
He
road
makes
again.
a good Willie Nelson.
I know.
I
he had
would
me
not have
wondering at first,
introduced
I was
him
like,
as
"What?"
that unless he said in the green room, I want my introduction to be Willie Nelson. I just want to put that out there. I wouldn't have taken that risk of our friendship unless he gave me the go ahead on that.
He
Very
So
ran
Ross,
right.
I'm
it.
thinking Jody Krangle doing your commercial for your book. What do you think? Having her voice, the buttery smooth
You want a book
sounds.
trailer? Oh yeah.
You do book trailers?
I do book trailers.
Wow.
Well, I do the voice for the book trailer.
I started using this new app. It's called BookBrush, and it lets you create graphics for books really quick because it's got everything right there, and it looks really nice. And one of the things they have are book trailers, and I haven't had a chance to dig into video, but I
We
could
could talk.
probably create a book trailer, and
Yeah, I've done that before.
that could be really good.
Look at this, making connections here on Dealcasters Live.
Right.
If you need a salesperson,
those
Jody, I'm
royalties
your
start
I'm your
coming
person.
in. You know, we got something we can do to.
Jody's going to get an
Promoting.
Amazon store next.
Yeah.
I mean, you're just rolling it out.
It's all good.
That tree's getting bigger, the Amazon tree from you.
Yep.
So Jody, how far back does your relationship go with Ross, and do you have any Ross stories, or maybe how you feel like he's in? I feel like this is like the roast of Ross.
We
This is
never
your
met
life.
before, but it's
Well, we
great.
have.
No, I'm
We
kidding.
have, but
of course we have.
Yeah. I was on his show. And we did meet in person at Podfest in 2020, I believe, like the last thing that was open until the lockdown, right? It was March, I think.
Were you at,
March
Were
2020.
you at Mid Atlantic podcast conference?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
saw you there, but I don't think we ever actually met.
Yeah. The thing about that was it was my first podcast conference, and it was a total last minute thing because my husband and I could drive from Toronto to Atlantic City, and it was fun. We had a good time, but it was totally last second. I just decided on a whim, why not? I'll show up. And it was fun. I had a good time. And then Podfest was like next logical thing.
And then when we were at Podfest, they canceled South by Southwest, and we were like, "Uh-oh."
Yeah.
This thing's
And we were all
gonna-
bumping elbows and like little did we
Exactly.
know, right?
Yeah.
That was the last time I've seen people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got home on March 10th, my husband and I, from the Orlando airport to Toronto Pearson, and they locked things down 3 days later. And we hadn't been to anything since.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was really like right at the last second.
All right, so let's do a twofer here, because let's empty the green room. These gentlemen have been here for ever since we started, and I feel like we may have if there's going to be probably more people that are joining, but I don't want to say we've saved the best for last, but we've saved the best for last. First and foremost, please welcome from Spin It Social, Mr. Stefan Kaplan. What's up, man?
There he is.
Hey,
I know him.
Oh, look at that background, dude. That's very
Nice.
cool.
Wow.
He's
oh,
got
you
the
guys,
universe. He's got the live stream universe behind
He
him.
does.
you guys would just be dying and laughing because you will be, because I literally just stole this galaxy globe from my son's room
It fits.
because I've
Wait,
been working for like all day on getting my camera set up better because I haven't been pleased with the Logitech
C920 whatever webcam that I had when the pandemic hit. And Jim and Ross and other people, including StreamYard in general, have been talking. Hey, Andrew, have been talking about and having guests on that have talked about using smartphones for their cameras. Well, I just got the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra.
Oh, that's the one I got too.
Yeah, and I hooked it up, and I'm crazy about it. I mean, it's amazing. And I've been going nuts with it. So I downloaded, there's 2 apps I'm trying out. One is Irian, and it's great because that's what I'm using now. I'm so much clearer and it just pops. And then the other one, it's so easy to hook up. And then the other one is, what was the other one? Camo,
yep.
Yeah, Reincubate Camo. So I'm part of a beta program that they're doing for the Android. So now that I got the big boy, or big phone, to be correct, the big phone, and
and the globe from your son's room. I mean, what else do you need?
I stole the snow globe from the Galaxy snow globe
and so
from my
now
son's
all you
room.
have to do is give. Yeah,
How did you get inside it?
Wait, the globe or my son's room?
How did you get inside the globe? Yeah, so it's all around you.
But I saw everybody with all their fancy backgrounds, and I had my typical white background. I'm like, you know what? I got to do something real quick.
Mine's a curtain from IKEA.
I know, but it's still red is your Christine. Red is your color.
It's true. It's true. I make it fancy.
We could look for a red background and put it in the carousel for you.
The best thing I have is that I match. That's the
Ross, Ross, I want to tell you, man, you've been an inspiration to me since day one, and being here with everybody and tomorrow night and everything, I have to tell you, it brings me a lot of joy because you are somebody that I look up to tremendously with all of this. And you become a really good friend in a very short amount of time to me, in a year. And I really appreciate your wisdom and your guidance and just your all around just general beautiful quality of you're a great human being, man.
Thank you so much, man. Not only have you been a great friend, but man, you're so accomplished, and you came into this and when you started out really producing live streams and doing your own show, you had such a love for it that you often don't see. A lot of people start out and they go, okay, this could be a way to market, but like you took it as a show, not a like I'm going live for 5 minutes because I got to sell this thing or move this product or whatever. Right. But you were really going from the entire spectrum of what needed to be done to put together a winning show, from graphics to inviting guests, research, quality, equipment, everything you had in place, and the amount of energy you put into it was just it just totally caught me when I heard you talking about like how passionate you were about this.
Well, it really, the way I started as you know, is when the pandemic hit, I had to do something to up my game from being a social media and visual strategist and consultant to the next phase. And that was live streaming. And I got the bug. And the bottom line is that I didn't have anything to sell. I wasn't selling myself. I was trying to help people. Right. So I started the Spin It Social Hour based on interviewing photographers around the world. I was doing it every week, but it became too much. So I decided I'm going to do it once a month now, and it's really become such a passion project and a quality broadcast that I enjoy doing, that I can't believe next month I'll be doing my 50th show. I mean, I did 50 shows.
Congrats.
And thanks. And I have a really big show planned if everything works out. There's a bunch of people that are going to be going into outer space in a couple of years. There's a Japanese billionaire that's putting together a bunch of people, artists and athletes and other things on a space flight. And there's a couple of photographers that are going to be on that flight, or at least one. And whoever it is that's going to be on that flight is hopefully going to be my 50th guest.
Wow.
So I couldn't think of something cooler than, with everything going on right now with all this space stuff, that it could be that. But my point in general is that all of you guys inspire me, the whole live stream universe inspires me, and it's been a natural progression. And to have a quote in your book with my photo, I'm honored, and I'm excited to be a part of your whole journey.
Well, thanks. The other thing I just want to say real quick. We're looking at the phone.
Oh, that's a nice
There you
cat,
go.
Stefan. Yeah.
How do you like that?
This actually is working. This is really working as a pattern interrupt on Amazon.
I'm not a cat.
Perfect.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I have no idea. That is the funkiest thing.
So
that
you're
happened.
using your phone as a camera, right?
So I'm using my Galaxy, my
There you go.
my S21 Ultra as a
It
camera.
looks good. It's good picture, and
It's
then all of a
phenomenal.
sudden it's got entertainment in case something happens.
That's it.
In case I was going to go on some boring story, and boom, there it is, and everybody's
yeah,
back paying
bumpers.
attention.
Wagging a tail.
Hey, no, but did you notice?
Can you choose a dog? Does it have to be a cat?
Yeah.
The cat is wagging its tail too.
There. Hey, I just wanted to say real quick, Stefan, the other thing that stands out about you is how much you support other people. You show up for their shows, you share their stuff, you know what makes them tick and makes them good, and you don't hesitate to tell others about it. So
Well,
thank you for all that.
The other thing I really wanted to do this year was use social media for social good, which is what I teach my students at FIT. I have a whole class on it, and I did that for our buddy and colleague Tim McDonald. I had a big drive, a fundraiser for him. I sold dozens of my photos, and every penny went to him to help him in his bout with cancer, which he's gone public with. I mean, we're all very lucky when we have our health, and when people are down and out, especially in our group and in our live stream universe and other things, we got to reach out and help people, man. I don't wait till people ask me. I'm a doer,
Well, thank you.
Awesome.
you
Well,
do,
we've got
man.
one more person to that's in the green room we want to bring on, and speaking of someone who is supportive of others' live streams, I can't think of a person who's more supportive of tons of different live streamers, including the gentleman who is my co-host here on Dealcasters Live, the co-host of the Tim and Jim Show. Please welcome to the stream, Mr. Tim Sohn.
Woohoo! Do the Tim.
Hi, everyone.
There it is.
Yes, let's dance.
Everybody do it. Everybody do it. Everybody do it.
Congratulations, Ross.
Thanks, Tim, and thanks for being a part of it.
Thanks for having me. And I remember when Jim first mentioned StreamYard to me, and I said, Jim, where did you find out about this amazing platform? And he said, Ross Brand. And that's how I first heard of you a number of years ago. Yeah, it's so great to be here. Thank you so much for including me in the book. You've always been so supportive and always enjoyed tuning into your live streams. And it's also great to be part of, you have an amazing mastermind going on also. So it's great to be part of that group as well.
Yeah, I appreciate you being part of it, and also recommending it to some of your students who've been through your courses and they joined, and it's really, really a great community. And I mean, a big part of it's the people that you've brought over.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. Always happy to send people along.
And Tim, that was actually, Ross, you were having a show with Miss Eileen, and you guys were comparing several different live streaming products, and StreamYard was one of them. And we were using a product which will not be named at the time. But once we switched over to StreamYard, and I think this was about February of 19.
I think I was using that product in that video. I think I was using that product in that video that I was reviewing StreamYard. One of the last times I was using that other product.
We all had that phase. You know.
That's how we learned about it. And I think it was once we switched him, right? Once you go to StreamYard, it's hard to go to anything else.
I want to give a quick shout out to Chris Stone for Chris for doing that slamming intro for the Tim and Jim Show that I've been jealous of since day one. jealous in a good way. That thing, I love rocking to it every week. That is a badass intro, man.
Well, I mean, in full disclosure, Stefan, and thank you. But I mean, honestly, when you do 100 shows like these guys had done at that point, and they're approaching 200 shows now at on the Tim and Jim show.
Yeah.
And I said to Jim, I want to do a video for you guys. You guys need an intro. I mean, they had no intro. It was, or I think there may have been an intro, but it was like it was kind of whatever. Build it on Canva. I wasn't even sure, but I was like, so just send me like maybe 10 of your favorite episodes, your favorite guests. Of course, he sends me 20, right? But honestly, and it included lots of people that were here today. Christine, I know she's in the intro as well. And but when you're a video editor and you're putting together something, or and Dave, you can attest to this, and Eddie and Jody and everyone here that edits podcasts, and maybe they edit their own, or they edit, and video as well. When you have good content, it makes your job so much easier. When it sounds great and it looks great, it just kind of, I'm sitting here with all this great content with Judy Fox and Christine Gritmon and Mike Alton and all of these great people, and I'm like, how am I going to do this and make a 1-minute intro? That was really it. And so that's a nice problem to have.
It's the right music. It's the right cuts. It's
I didn't even choose the music, so I'm gonna put the music I said I put out there. Tim and Jim were like, that sucks. No, they didn't. I think the music that I put on there wasn't as hyped as they wanted it to be.
Oh, it's hyped. Yeah. I love
your
it.
audio branding is important.
Yes.
Just putting that out there.
It was funny though, because Tim and I have different rock music tastes. Like Tim's was much more laid back, and I was almost more like AC/DC, and so how we ended up agreeing on the in between was
neither one of you had rights to either of the songs.
It took a while.
That you really liked.
That's it right there.
So the music ends up sounding like a combination of Billy Joel meets Arctic Monkeys. So
exactly.
That's the audio brand, Jody.
It's the best intro of any.
Whatever
show.
Works.
Hey guys, I don't want to interrupt, but Chris, thanks for putting this together. Good to see you, Tim. Ross, congratulations. I'll see you again tomorrow night. Christine, Jody, everybody, Dave, Stefan, everybody.
Take care.
Thanks, Hi, Eddie. Great to see you.
Eddie, don't get out of line, okay?
Yeah, I won't. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Yeah, man.
Don't close the door, Eddie, because I'm coming right behind you. I got another place I got to be. But Ross, I will see you tomorrow. And
Sounds
nice
great.
seeing everybody. And
Great
Ross,
to see you, Dave.
Thanks so
great
much,
to see
Dave.
your book going up the charts. Take care.
Thanks for being here, Dave.
Awesome stuff. Wow, I feel like I'm on the Tim and the Jim and the Stefan and the Jody and the Christine and the Ross and the Chris show.
Just like that.
Hey, we're only getting warmed
There's
up.
worse places to be.
Well, I got to tell you that my goal is to become as calm and just suave as Jim is, because Jim has the best delivery. But that comes from years of being in the Marines. He's just one cool cat.
It helps, but I actually would say, and I tell people this all the time, the other thing that really helps is going to Toastmasters or NSA, where you have people actually telling you those little things, and so that you can get better. And I really think live streamers in general should really think about that, because I know there was a comment in this one group about like, how do you get rid of your ums and ers? And it's like, we can't edit it out when you're live, so you got to practice. And somebody's like, well, I like them. I'm telling you, sure you guys feel the same way. It can only take so much.
Yeah.
And I would much rather listen to someone like Jody Krangle's smooth voice with no problems, as opposed to hearing a bunch of other things. So
Oh, I say enough ums. Mine's My word is I say that like 50 million times.
Yes.
Mine is beautiful.
Yeah, mine is. I love that. I say I love that like 30 times per show, which is great. I mean, it's positive, but
sure.
I mean, I host a show where I interview photographers. If I say beautiful sometimes one more time about a photo, I have to really
gorgeous.
up my during my show, at least, I have to up my variety of descriptions of photography.
I say I love that, and I mess with my hair. I'm trying really hard not to do too much of that, but I have 2 fans on me right now because it's very hot in my studio. So I'm like having to sit on my hands to be like, stop it.
But so Ross, what's the trick though? Because see, I could sit down and I could write something about photography, and I'll only say beautiful once. But if I'm on the air, beautiful just pops out of my mouth like 30 times.
That's all right. It becomes your trademark.
No, the hat's my trademark. Beautiful's gotta go.
people look forward to it.
Ross,
there's a
your
drinking
word?
game. There's a drinking game. Do a shot every time Stefan says something's beautiful.
That would make for an interesting
I
live
like
stream.
that. Interesting, Whitman. I like that.
Better
Yeah,
turn
then you
in
won't
the
be
last
saying
hour.
you won't be saying beautiful anymore. You'll be saying.
No, that cat.
Ross, do you have a word that you find that you say a lot in a live stream?
I'm sure I do, but I can't think of one at the moment.
Ross doesn't watch his own show.
Nah, who's got time for that?
So if you're still watching on Amazon, and I know you are, the reason why we're here, other than to critique each other's ahs, and beautifuls, and I love that.
And what?
And
we're celebrating this gentleman who's released the #1 best-selling book on Amazon today in 4 different categories, 100 live streaming and digital media predictions. Mr. Ross Brand, who has been a monstrous influence in the live streaming community. There's many faces and Amazon live influencers I see in those little squares. And, of course, there's that beautiful graphic that Ross made today showing the #1s here in best-selling across Amazon. Ross, how amazing is it? Like, did you think, seriously, what were your expectations? Was your expectations that you would have like a #1 in the podcast category? Or were you just like, you know what, whatever happens, happens? Like, what were you actually thinking when you woke up?
I wanted to get #1 in one category for at least an hour, and then whatever happens, happens. But like, I didn't know how hard it was going to be, so I just like plugged along and made sure that I got launch day and had everybody, messaged everybody who was in the book. And, I just hit #1 earlier in professional photography. So, Stefan, you might want to have me on your show.
There we go.
All right. You're gonna work.
I had no idea I was in that category.
Congrats.
But I guess video might fall under. There might be a subcategory of video or something like that. So
I'm going to have to update the slide, I guess.
Yeah. Why isn't it #1 in voice acting?
I'll be the
Ross?
first one in your show doesn't know f-stop or.
So, does anyone remember what their predictions were, or maybe when they got the book
I
today, they went to
cheated.
their predictions and then they said, what a lame prediction, or like I was right. Like anyone like
Mine
thinking
wasn't a
that?
prediction. Mine was good sense. Mine was certainly in line with the messages that I communicate as a professional, but mine wasn't actually a prediction. But that's okay. It's still really smart. Go check it out.
I didn't have a prediction either. I basically explained that having been in social media now, since the beginning, and coming from 20 years at the New York Times as a photo editor, that I really saw live streaming. The pandemic, I hate to say that every crisis has a silver lining. I really, but it did for a lot of people in a way, because it made everybody upskill. The #1 thing that happened during this pandemic for a lot of professionals such as us, I think, is that we all realize we all need to up our game. Mm-hmm. But I saw live streaming now as the natural evolution of social media in many ways, because I don't know about you guys, but I felt social media was getting a little stale. And I think that live streaming really added that extra component. But what it added was that element of total transparency. Because when you're live and you're online and you're in front of everybody, and here we go with the cat again.
And you've got a cat on your phone.
Not a cat.
That would be more perfect.
I love this.
Okay.
Never disable that setting, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Trademark.
to figure that. Hey, I just set it up today, so I'm gonna have to figure perfect timing though. So, but the thing is that. It really added that element of transparency, because when you're live, people are gonna know if you're full of BS or not. You know, I mean, I don't have a poker face, so everybody knows what I'm talking about is the truth, the way I feel, and that's what I really like about it. I think.
Looking for the phone.
I love this phone.
Why do they choose a cat when it's like looking for a phone? That it's a cat? Like really? They can't.
The cat
It's
ate the
the tail.
phone.
Binoculars or
It's
something.
the tail.
Thank God it's a cat and not my guinea pigs. Anyway, that's what I said.
So apparently
that's
it
what
thinks
I
you can see the phone, but only if it puts that cat on there will you be able to find it.
That's funny.
And Andrew Kavanaugh goes searching for the
He's
cat
loving
emoji.
it. He's loving it. Yeah.
But
Nice.
that's really what I really explain, and what my thought process is about everything that's going on with social media is that, you know, we needed live streaming, and a StreamYard to me was a gift. I mean, because I wanted to upskill, but I didn't have time to get crazy techie at the same time. But I wanted to get right into it and jump into it. And that's what Ross and everybody and Tim encouraged me to do. Tim was a big influence too, along with Sri Srinivasan and his group that I consult with. But, you know, all of you guys, like I said, all of you guys inspired me, man. I'm glad we're together, and I'm glad we always do things together. It's a great journey this year, the past 2 years. Wow. I can't believe it's been 2 years.
Can you
now.
imagine?
Yeah, almost.
Can you imagine going through this pandemic without live streaming?
No, I would have
Without
lost my
live
mind.
video, no live streaming.
Well,
no-
social audio too. I mean, we're
no
talking.
internet?
Oh my goodness! I mean, Zoom stepped up, right? Like all of these places that were working okay, but they weren't great, and then they really stepped up and took over. Zoom did a great job. Google Meet. They did a lot of really, really good stuff. There's a lot of things out there, but social audio, that was my prediction.
Yeah.
Well,
And
Jody, you have a
Oh,
fantastic
wow.
voice.
You nailed it.
thank you. Actually, Clubhouse was already a thing, I think, when Ross asked me. So I already knew about Clubhouse, and I was going on it and I was exploring, but I didn't understand how big it was going to get, because now we're looking at every social media platform having their own version of a social audio platform. So Facebook has one now, Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse has its own, and it's expanding. Discord has started doing something. There's like a whole bunch of them out there, and it's
Jody,
it's huge.
Let me ask you this, because it just popped in my head. I haven't been on Clubhouse or Twitter Spaces yet, even though I have both of them, and they're both spin it social. I grab everything every time it comes out. But I am actually, I don't know about you guys, but I'm more nervous about thinking about going on Clubhouse than I am going live with my picture on camera.
You know, it depends. I think I am not as video focused usually as a lot of people who do live streaming all the time. So I've been on a lot of podcasts, and that's kind of where I'm getting my experience from. But the audio, I got the audio. I'm okay with the audio, right?
you know what I think it is, Stefan? I think it's like this, right? I worked in radio and was on radio for years and was very comfortable with it. But if I had to sit on hold to be on a show for a long time, if I was a guest on somebody else's show, the longer I sit on hold, the more I kind of, like, I like to show up right in time and do what I do and get out of there, right?
Right.
So Clubhouse is sort of like sitting on hold, and then all of a sudden somebody brings you up, and now you got to, and then you wait when you get into the little cubicle up at the top. You have to wait until it's your turn to talk. And after a while, you're like, start rethinking, like, what did I want to say? What am I doing here? Like,
Well, it's just
I don't
like
know.
this,
It's a
though.
little. No, but see, this you're like, it's a
What are we doing here?
yeah, but this is an open conversation, right? It's
So
not
is
like
Clubhouse.
Yeah, but
it's just we're all up on stage.
Fight. No.
Yeah, but I'll tell you guys something about Clubhouse, though. If you have that app on your phone, do not have it on the open first screen of your phone, because if you do like a butt dial or anything on Clubhouse and you're walking around, And
Wow.
you join a conversation and you don't even know, but it's in your pocket and you're yelling at your son.
Have
or you're
you
doing
done
something
that?
else. No, it almost happened one day to me.
Oh my goodness.
You should have seen me. I restarted my phone in a panic to get it off my phone.
Here's the thing with Clubhouse. If you are there at specific times and you make rooms that last a specific amount of time, then you can make it work for you. So I have chats every Wednesday at a specific time. We talk about the power of sound. It's different topics per week, and I have different panelists on every time. So those panelists are automatically with me talking about the subject that we're talking about. They draw in people that are following them, and we have an audience. And it's an hour long. And it specifically is made to be an hour long. It's not something that just lasts until people lose steam, because, that could be really long. I'm not there to, I'm not there to take over people's afternoons, but at a specific time for a specific purpose, then that works really well. So I have a club, I have these rooms that happen at specific times, and we have our discussions. And I'm not really on there otherwise.
Well,
why Clubhouse or why Twitter Spaces? Is there one that you prefer over the other, or one you think is better for some people and one better for other people who have different interests or different personalities?
I like Clubhouse, but I'm using actually a desktop app. I'm using something called clubdeck.app. So if you guys like that kind of thing, it's something to look into. It works on both PC and Mac. And I prefer being on my desktop than I do being on, actually, originally I was on my iPad, because I have one Apple product in my entire house, and it was an iPad, and I managed to get on with my iPad when it was still in the Apple beginning, right? But now it's open to everybody.
Now you can use the good mic and all
well,
that
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. So, I find
that's a great tip. That's a great tip.
It works really well. And now that they have the back channel or whatever that is, like the typing, you can actually have like chats with people while you're doing these rooms. And I'm a touch typer, so like there's no way I'd do that on my phone.
Well, and I think that's what I see, Ross, with Twitter Spaces, is that one of the things is, right, you already have a community there. You don't have to like invite people, even though invites have gone away. The other thing is you can now schedule these things. You can like tweet out while it's going live. You can direct message the people. I like the reactions of the people that aren't on stage, so you can kind of give people a 100 thumbs up, things of that nature, and it can be fun. Like we did, Troy Sandage and Chris and a few other folks. We did during the NFL draft. We did a Twitter space, and we were talking about the picks, and you could invite the teams, not that any of them showed up, to come talk about their pick. But it's just, and I think like Madeline Sklar does a great job. She does her Twitter chat on Thursdays at from 1 to 2, and then at 5 she has a chat with the guest. And so sometimes the people that couldn't make the chat are able to join into the space. And so I think it's easier. But I also think, and I think Jody'd love to get your thoughts on this. I think the problem is it becomes one of like, we're going to have audio things everywhere, and you've got to go where it makes sense. Like I don't think I'm going to like jump on to LinkedIn audio. Let's fix LinkedIn Live. I think you put a comment about that in the book, Ross. You don't need to add another function when you're not doing the other ones well. So I think that's some of the things I see. And then with Twitter Spaces, you can listen on desktop. You can't talk yet, but you could, if you want to just listen to what people were talking about, you can do it on desktop. So Twitter's definitely stepped up their game for sure.
So I know that we're going off into tangents, and that usually means if you're in a Clubhouse room, I'm not being a very good moderator. But
pull us back.
Right. But tonight is about Ross Brand, and tonight is about the book that is the #1 bestseller in probably 188 categories now, including voice acting and professional photography. And it's also #1 in the Marketing the Marine Corps Way category as well. So
Impressive.
but yeah, I mean,
Jim
who would
bought a
have thought that
copy.
only here on.
Did I do that right, Jim?
Dealcasters.
It's close. It's close.
Okay,
We'll
all
talk
right,
later.
okay. I need
But
more
make
depth,
sure
right?
that you pick up
Thank
the
you.
book, 100 Live Streaming and Digital Media Predictions from Ross Brand. Ross, it's been amazing to sit here and just let everyone who has been influenced by you just expound upon that. And it really just became a tribute show in all honesty about how you've influenced people, and not just Jim and I for this show, but Stefan, Jody, Chris Krimitsos, Dave Jackson, Tim Sohn, just tons of people, Eddie Garrison. And so thank you for that. And any parting words, Ross? We're gonna put you on the spot,
Right.
and just kind of like, do you have anything? Maybe a prediction from you before we sign off and let everybody go read the book, which today is available on Amazon for only 99 cents.
Well, I think things are going to kind of come full circle because, as you mentioned, you and Jim got started on Amazon because of my video, and then you guys have taken it and been really pioneers here, and you're seeing more and more people come over here and discover the opportunity. You've led the way on how to do this, and I'm now thinking, I got in early, and now I got to get back in because now I have a product on here. Now I'm learning about Amazon. I have a reason to be here, although it's not really like I'm coming here to sell books, but I just think that organic reach is so tough to get now on so many platforms, and Amazon wants you to reach people because they want you to help sell their products. This could be a really productive platform to not just sell products, but to have these great conversations like we had today. So thanks and congratulations on all you've done with this show. It's really been amazing to watch. And thanks to everybody who came today. I had no idea you were putting together a guest list like this. I thought maybe you'd grab somebody to talk about their prediction, but maybe a couple people. And wow, this was amazing. Thanks, Jody. Thanks, Stefan. Thanks, Jim. And Chris, you guys are amazing.
Anything to
Thank
support
you,
you,
Ross.
anything to support you, Ross.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right,
happy for
everyone.
you.
And as always, don't fear the gear.